Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gupta series in which, well, all I gotta say is, what have I originally planned from the previous episode? Well, plans change. The Abbasid Empire, which has been in part of the western Indian areas for some time, have now expanded up to the Punjab region, where the Kingdom of Punjab is now a vassal to the Arabian Empire, also known as the Abbasid Empire. Well, that's becoming a bit of a problematic thing, but here's the deal when it comes to the Abbasids. It may look huge on the outside, but on the inside, it's not strong. But I tell you why. That is, very high imperial decay. You see the minimum of levy, vassals, along with the morale of armies, design organization, reinforcement rate, retinue size, and all that. It may look huge on the outside and strong on the outside, but on the inside, it's very, very weak. If a capable military leader of a strong nation can definitely take them on their level. Which, in fact, then united India would be ideal, but at least all of northern India would be strong enough to take on all the Abbasid Empire, leaving the south alone. But we'll deal with the south at a later time. I took a drink. Now, originally, I planned on putting a man on the Delhian throne, so that way it would come into the Gupta Empire with time. No, I have decided that since we're getting closer to having 500 karma, I thought about, well, saving up that karma. Why don't we just subjugate the Yadava kingdom of Delhi, which is here to be exact. Subjugate all of this area, and then we're gonna push this man's claim, as he is the heir to the Punjab, to fight the Abbasids without having to initiate a holy war, so other Sunni nations like Kurtal don't get to intervene. That is an idea. But as for the Rajkumar here, there is still some use for him. Such as I might put him on the throne of Maharashtra instead, the biggest of the South Indian kingdoms. Or at least the southern half of the Indian kingdoms, as it's considered central. And so on and so forth. So that way, he gets to rule. Then he'll be succeeded by him, who, when he passes, he'll be succeeded by him who is matrimonially betrothed to my half-sister. So there will be a Gupta kingdom to the south, and we'll use that as long as they retained its cultural characteristics of being Bengali instead of Kannadiga or Kannada. Then we can subjugate them and start to work our way down. Or the alternative is to land him and push his claim, and then Maharashtra enters into the empire, thus beginning the route towards creating the Deccan Empire. But I will land him because I am currently trying to fabricate evidence of treason on this man so we can kick him out. My original plan was to change my culture from Telugu, then we could start subjugating from there. But no, keep the culture in Indo-Aryan culture such as Bengali. Subjugate the north first before you make your way down to a degree. As much as we like to fight the Abbasids, but however, we're not also strong militarily either. Because all we need is to get their blessings from their vassals that'll provide us with levies. But in the domain, well, we mostly invested in Magad and hardly in the other areas, like Jawanpur, Varanasi, and Chuna. That's only because we don't have the money for it. That the money's been invested elsewhere. But however, there is an upside to it when we go west. Since we would be bordered with the Abbasids, and knowing that their armies are far away and weak, we can raid them easily. Because we're Hindus. We are allowed to raid. And I don't believe that you can raid Jains or Buddhists. But anybody that's non-Eastern, yes, we can raid these lands. As long as you're border with them, that is. And that'll make things easier for us. Much more conveniently. Now, as for Samraj and Irani, we'll continue on the war focus for a while, knowing what we're about to do. And also, on the contrary, this is my Samrat, my husband and my cousin. Yes, I said cousin. It's right there. Is of a dynasty. Originally, I had to marry him because, you know, eventually inherit all of Bengal. But instead, my firstborn son, Pushyamitra, holds the title of Koshala and Bengal, which he will also one day be the heir to the empire, thus having all this land to himself, which he must distribute. Even though he's being raised as Jain, is it possible that I can... Let me see. I was about to say, can I raise him? Yes. Because I'd rather raise him as a Hindu than be a Jain because of wartime circumstances. As long as it gives him learning early on, that's good. I just want to have more control over his education and well-being. Because I'd rather see him be a Hindu. As I'm a Vaishnavist, just for vassal opinion. It's because of unruly vassals like these. And some still dislike me or crown a predecessor and rejected faction demands and all that. But do not forget, I plan on making the crown authority high. Absolute, I should say. They won't like it, but it gives us... enables de jure kingdom claim Cassius Belli, and enables de jure vassal kingdom creation as Emperor Samarajini. It has its benefits, so. But also, do not forget that to go to a pilgrimage, which there's more karma in this. Which, in fact, we should take that time right now. Go on a pilgrimage. I shall do a pilgrimage to one of the holy sites of the Hindu faith, seeking enlightenment and purification. Well, naturally, as a Vaishnavist, I will seek Mathura, the birthplace of Krishna. Yeah, while I go on a pilgrimage, while the Adava kingdom, well, they're still vulnerable, but they are winning together, along with a bunch of Thikanas that are teamed up with them against the Kavati Emirate. Although I could easily intervene on the limited scale, knowing they don't have the power anymore. Even though the territory they wanted is held by Kumani. But still. Knowing you're this strong and you got a bunch of other little Thikanas with you. I mean, that's me, the ruler, who's going out to the pilgrimage. So, I don't know how much karma I would gain, but no need to intervene. But if you wish, if you're going to subjugate him, mind you, that it's going to cost you another 100 karma to declare war on someone defending against heathens. So, I think it would be best to join the war on a limited scale, because I am not willing to raise my levies over something that that's not really of our business, but it's necessary for, you know, maybe getting some piety contribution. So we're only sending the retinue there. Head to this front line. About to go on a pilgrimage, so you head down, and that'll be you in charge. And I can lower an imperial decay, but here's a problem with that. You'll lose 1,000 prestige, which I'm saving up on that. And imperial decay is only 5%, and it's not that big of a deal. Just less plot power defense, unfortunately. Different, Ronnie. If he can't defend himself, then Bengal goes to me. And then I'm gonna have to distribute to those who deserve it. And that means that my son can come to court, or I can raise him to be a Hindu properly. That's a peasant revolt, ignore that. Go the long way. Ignore that peasant revolt. Thank you, son. Packed my things and made preparations for my household to make do without me. It is time to set out to the land of Raj and the twin cities of Mathura and Vrindavan. My journey begins. Everything seems to taste foul today. Was it local cuisine, or that night spent camping in the swamp? It is hard to say for sure, but something is not right with this pilgrim. Hey. Take up charge. I guess the old one died. I recall he was infirm. That old commander. But hey, here's our chance to get rid of cynicalism. A small offering, then I must continue onwards. If I get sick, so be it. It could be just dysentery. Not serious. Mild treatment, you say? Abstain from food in order to feel better and prescribe a 3-day fast. Get him. Again, it wasn't a long way. I finally arrived at the heart of Raj in Mathura, the place where Lord Krishna was once born. It is said that the first temple constructed at this ancient site was built by Raj Ranabha, the great-grandson of Krishna himself. Since then, the devoted have traveled to this place to give their offerings to see this most holy of Hindu places. Today, thousands of pilgrims come here and to the nearby Vrindavan, where Krishna spent his youth, and every year to Singamamlate, Govardhana, and the other temples. It is beautiful. Jai Sri Krishna. A pilgrimage can be undertaken for many reasons. For some it is a way to atone for past sins, for others a way to repay the universe for what they have. To many, the pilgrimage is a great and rejuvenating journey. I feel convinced this so, for my journey has left me invigorated in a way I've never experienced before. Perhaps the time has come to begin the journey home. Every little bit helps. Let's help him out with this siege. After some very troubled spirit, the diarrhea finally stopped. I guess it was some bad food, but At least didn't get sicker. I am home at last after my journey. I've learned new things and experienced the greatness of the faith and met with interesting people. While it's good to be home, I am confident I will always remember this trip very fondly. A great experience. Now finish this war and then we'll subjugate Delhi. Now I'll become a pandit. A little more karma gain. No need to take a vow of celibacy. You're still very young. If I really wanted him to be a Buddhist, well, that's just his business, but I would just say no. Be a loyal Hindu. Be loyal to Santana Dharma. Budgagiri has got a perfect marriage. Fresh blood. Thanks to his connection, Mayor of Palindaka, my Chancellor came to me recently with an idea to reinforce our troops with foreign recruits. Our plan is to send an envoy asking for help from his acquaintance, Mahadevi. Excuse me. And check. What is she gonna have to ask him? I don't need more troops. This is just an intervention. On a limited scale, because we're just saving up our larger numbers. Again, they're the real target. That took multiple times. Well, friend, adopted Bengali culture. What gives? Is that good of a friend? Anyways, my co-conspirators have fabricated evidence that Raja Alaya Vema is planning a revolt against me. I will circulate the evidence among my vassals that they'll support my actions against the traitor. I will see him disgraced. My vassals refuse to believe the fabricated evidence of the Raja's treason. What's worse, one of my agents is calling a question on second forgeries. Oh, damn it! Now I can't get rid of him. But he knows. And if I were to imprison him now, that'll be tyranny. But you can always try again. War score. The speech. For long, the stability situation in my domain have consumed my thoughts. I decided to apply my gregariousness in a big address in the capital of Mithila. Oh, so here I am, facing peasants and holy men and traders, and here they are, facing me and expecting inspiration to turn their lives less cumbersome. The speech begins now. Well, I do have a degree of diplomacy, but... So I'll try to give a rousing speech. It may or may not work. Woodcutter's Lodge everywhere. Engaging. $97. As long as they keep away from the objective. In fact, it's pretty much textbook at this point. Speech was long and expired. The metaphors came naturally, and those attending were enthralled by what I said and how I said it. It was a performance worth of a Cicero. Excellent. Now, all I need is to get rid of the volatility of the area here. Because there's a volatile province here, there, and there as well. Somebody's going to get killed. That's the danger of having a volatile one. It could be anyone. It could be me, even. And it would be disastrous for the Gupta Empire at this point. It could be that claimant that we brought. So, head back to Kanyakuja. Oh, it's a claimant, not a tyranny war. Well, why would a 3-year-old cause 4-year-old now cause tyranny? %100% war score. It'll be over, and then we'll begin the subjugation war. Right at the border. After this war, I will raise that crown authority all the way to absolute. You know, people will be very much against that idea. And then we're going to start rolling back to ruler and abolish the council power. And then make it an imperial administration. And also not to have King's face again. All this may be finished in Pushmitra's time. Don't know about me. We can always try it again against him. We'll deal with him some other time. So he's very weak, so it'll be easy to subjugate him now. Can't vassalize him, as he is the king. He's the Maharaj. But do not worry, I will get you a kingdom sooner or later. Just stick around. Even if he's not around, then maybe I'll invite this man too into the court just to tell him, hey, you stick around as well. In fact, let me help you with that. You are ambitious, so suffer some penalties of my stats representing that transfer of power. Oh, well, just try to offer him a lot of money, as he is ambitious and cheerful. I'm gonna bribe that man a bit too. That's in case if he dies for whatever reason. So now let's begin. How much area we're going to take? Not all, but most of it. So takes or vassalize all titles held by him within the Kingdom of Delhi. He'll be mad at me at first, just for declaring war on him, be defeated. But once he's subjugated, and then we're going to fight against the Abbasid to take Punjab. It'll be a liberation, so to speak. Just to push this man's claim. So there's that. Of course, that would mean Gandhara too. At least a part of it. Even though it's also held by this big kingdom here, which is... borders are just not really what I would like to see in a map. But we're fellow Hindus. Let's do it. Since you're not going to face much resistance out there, and I don't know if he has the money to get mercenaries. But it would be wise to head straight for Delhi. Just begin an early siege before the rest of the army gets here. And whoever's in the way, we'll deal with it. Put me back in action. I'll see what I can do. Take care. Be patient. We're in the middle of a very important conflict that would change the fate of northern India. I'll visit that garden. It is with heavy heart that I must inform you I am duty bound to the Maharaj Durga Simha of the Rashtrakuta Kingdom village. Thus I cannot accept your invitation. I could continue to help you using the regular channels. Oh, you'll regret this. We can donate to charity. We have plenty of funds for it. I'm sure that'll make me a better person. Green fingers. Glory factions improved, so now it's neutral. You know, the court faction's hostile, and that's due to because of him. Saying good relations of members and all that. But if you want to prove that, you gotta have good relations, you know, some of the members, and having high prestige, which I do, but it's going to be spent soon, and winning wars, which you'll definitely see that. As we lie both awake in bed after a night of lovemaking, my Bhairav Singh came close to my ear and whispered a request that caused a shiver up my spine. Out of thin air, he proposed to take the role of Pulandeka, my chancellor, be part of the council. A deep wet kiss, full desire, pointedly underscores the appeal of a positive answer. You live in Gujarat. You know, you're over there in Navsarika. You're in residence. But is this the way to get you into court so I can empower you as spouse, which is just what I wanted? Even though they'll feel shunned about it. Even though they won't like me for that, but so offer something else to my spouse, so there is a good chance that he'll refuse that offer because he sees right through it. Although he's cruel, so that's a negative for him. What else? In fact, we perhaps should discuss this now. I know I have a good diplomacy stat. I'm better than him, and I'm a gregarious person. But he doesn't have that good mindset. Although content would knock me down a bit negatively. But so it's practically anybody's game. But if I were to do that, those little vassals, the Thakurs and the Pajaris, won't like them. In fact, let's have a look at all of them. Because I might give him that instead of discussing it. But then again, I want him in the court just to get him out of Gujarat. He'll like me even more. And he'll be sexually aroused for 3 years. Well, the position is yours, my darling. Even though he's still in Gujarat. He hasn't quit his position. But he's sexually aroused nonetheless. Which means he is more likely to impregnate me while I'm out leading my army, while he continues to serve down there in Nafsarika. Hindustani. Oh, they actually have a bit more attrition for people of the Hindustani culture. What about Punjabi? Wasn't informed of this. So people who are Hindustani culture or Hindavi speaking, that they are more likely to, cause trouble for foreigners that fight against them. Here's a chance to capture him and end this war because he's still not a full-grown adult. Because if we do catch him and end this war early, good. But if that's not the case, head to Hastinapura, the old capital of the Kuru kingdom. A box of incense, in addition, a male marble statue. No dice. Here it is. An ancient marble statue of a man or god, perhaps carved by pagan Greeks or Romans. Oh, it was found from here originally. To be fair, there were Greeks in India. In fact, there are Greeks in India now. Don't forget about the Indo-Greeks that live over here. Talking about the Indo-Greeks, but not the Indo-Greeks who are Jains that currently live here. Sorry, can't be there for you. Because I'm more interested in wartime circumstances than anything else. Win some, lose some. I bet that ceremony was nice. More incense. Anybody who's not been assigned will be taking up positions. Another ancient statue. Well, what statue is this then? An ancient statue that was found in the desert. Who made it, or what purpose did it serve? Why does a male marble statue give a little bit of bonus of fertility? What arouses a man or a woman to be looking at a male marble statue to increase their fertility? Compared to my cousin husband, who has a bit of a rash. Well, hope it doesn't involve in the syphilis, then I want nothing to do with him. Plus, I like how you say cousin husband. That sure beats saying brother husband or sister wife. But I hope that Pushimitra does not have the inbred trait. If that is so, well then, you're boned. Where is it? Here it is. You pay up too. That's how we do around here. Now it's a serene province, but it's still volatile. Let me see. As serene it is, but it's still a problem here. Put a focus on Varanasi. Trade League member. Here you go. Delhi's fully occupied. It's gonna take a while to subjugate all of this. Oh, by the way, we will also be getting these three eventually. What the hell's going on over there? The Kareni are striking back against the Abbasid for Taberstan. They're out for blood. And as soon as we subjugate Delhi, I'll be willing to help these Zoroastrians to fight back against the Abbasid. But we've got to get Punjab for ourselves. Hold that thought. What do you got there? Porcelain chopsticks. Mythical creature's bone. Karma Sutra. Hey, I already have Karma Sutra. But the real question is, am I using it? Your fertility's 18. Oh, by the way, how's your... Oh yeah, I forgot. You remember the Wheel of Life and Death. You're still dueling things. I need to increase that fertility. I do have Kama Sutra somewhere in the treasury. Where is it? It's right effing here. It's a book. Ah, here it is. But I need to, what should I stop reading? Okay, that's one. A library of books. But what's the other? Ah, here it is. I know it's gonna knock down the learning, but I only have one child, so I would rather have another. You're sexually aroused? Well, so am I. And I'm not taking a vow of celibacy. I still got many good years left. A traveler is regaling me with stories. One epic is my interest. He heard from someone who's heard from someone else who heard from someone else who met a traveler who once traveled south along the seas and reached a small but beautiful island, a paradise where there's always fruit to be found on trees and inhabitants live peaceful lives free of illness and violence. That sounds like the Maldives to me. Of course, I'm still a cynic and I haven't, got rid of that trait yet, but I'll just say an unlikely tale, but an amusing one nonetheless. A little bit of prestige is good. Thank you. There is a way. Oh, get it back to the Mugget. It's volatile despite the fact it's serene here. Hey. That's a Mathura. That war is going on longer than it should have. Well, it feels like it. You got your 1,000 gold. But just hang on. Tradition is neutral. I mean, he just formed it. Oh, I forgot about you. Hang on. Chew! Just a light sneeze. What we need is siege masters. Let's try this again. No evidence of my involvement. Try it one more time. He is a bad guy. I'd be willing to frame him. But you could do that, but that'll cost you a bit of karma, so... I'm not deceitful, but... I'm gregarious. Yeah. Have some intrigue, some diplomacy. I'm a bit dull-minded, so... Each the target factors are 7 sins. Trusting a doll, but he's shrewd, so he's opposite. Each set of virtues. Well, have a look at him. I don't know, but let's try to frame him. If he is framed, then we can get rid of him. So, now let's just frame the man. Time to establish a strategy to pursue my objective. I could try to reach as many people as possible to smear and frame my target. Does increase my chance of success, but also chance of discovering who's behind the plan, or I could use discretion contacting less people and making myself less visible to them. Discretion is the cardinal word here. Anything interesting? No? Because I'm not interested in clutter at this time. We'll subjugate the whole damn country if we have to. The sky is like waves of red and yellow and dark pink as the sun slowly weighs itself deeper and deeper in the horizon. Isn't it lovely? My companion asks. I don't disagree. Suddenly I begin to wake up. What a beautiful sunset I saw in my dream. But who was my mysterious companion? Could be any of my friends because I got lots of them. No rivals. Except with one vassal who I really, really dislike. I'm trying to frame him, or have evidence to, get rid of him. Recently I had the opportunity to advance my objective of framing my target by approaching a group of diplomats and weave my web of deceit around a plot I want to blame my target for. For a long time I exposed my ideas, trying to sway this group of diplomats to my point of view, even presenting fake proof to underscore my points. It was successful, so... if this action is successful, which it is, which, as it says, with all that. So is he officially framed? No? Not yet, but we're working on it. So you got the diplomats on the side, that's what it is. But anything that relates to intrigue, then that might be a bit problematic. I was about to say, Mother, where did you get that barrel of alcohol? But I forgot. Oh, she got married and went to Tamilakam. And subsequently, she became a trade master. So now she is a member of the Great Trade League. Hence the reason the barrel of alcohol trade good. You're not a drunk, are you? No. No, you're not. head to here while we continue to siege it. This should be over very, very soon. And I will have fully subjugate, even though the war's gone on longer than it really should have. So we're going to have to delay slightly on the advancement towards the Punjab. But now there is a danger to this. The vassal inheritance and all that. Hang on. Okay. Vasudev of Hastinapur. Galur. No, that's over there. And Damapati, who's there, lives in Pratihar Kingdom, another Rajput populated area. Why aren't you guarding my things? Oh! Damn it. That didn't work. It's not exactly how I had in mind, but you did say all the Delhi areas, but we didn't say, you know, this up here too. Well, oh, don't worry, they'll take care of that. It's the reason why we can't usurp him yet. We can't do that because he's currently in the conflict here. Because he can't resist, you know, they'll take Kamanchal, and then he'll be in Trigata, which I believe that's in Punjab area. Yeah. We'll usurp it. But the real question is there anyone else that has a claim to the Punjab? Oh my goodness, we gotta get that man back. Or alternatively, and this is the risky one, oh, right. The risky part of it is declaring a holy war for the Punjab area, Lahore in particular. But the benefits of that is to vassalize the lord of the religion. As we know, he's a Hindu, at least for now. Who's his guardian? Hindu. Good. Vassalize him, and then we'll get the little bit parts wrested away. We can take the Kingdom of Punjab away from the Abbasid. He is in the middle of a war with the Zoroastrians. Well, looks like there's some degree of cooperation now. That it's like while he's dealing with the Zoroastrians, we'll come in and take Punjab with little problem. Even though the vassals are going to give me for it. So perhaps we could just move it a position and since I hold Delhi for myself, in fact I hold Delhi and Mathura as well. So I gain 2 counties, 2 thikanas that I don't really want to govern. Hey, new idea. Remember that old claimant for the Maharashtra? Let's land him there. So that way we could use it to get Maharashtra in Punjab and yeah. There is a silver lining in everything. Of course, you're gonna have to wait because we don't want another long war. The vassals are gonna be very mad for it, and mad vassals mean they won't provide much of levies. Just recover for a bit. Let's get him settled. You still alive? I mean, you're not the heir of anything right now. Delhi is yours. In addition, Mathura as well. But of course, that Raja of Kuru isn't going to like that. They're part of that same dynasty. Yeah, but the Yadav was different. Now we have you as a base that we can go down, take Maharashtra, and then subsequently Telangana, because you have those claims of these areas. Yeah, we could have taken... I don't know. We'll get Punjab via Holy War, and that means the Maharaja of Punjab will be vassalized and join the Gupta Empire. You got the north and central parts of India covered. So you're making your way further west, and at the same time you will begin south. I'll be willing to do anything to protect the interest, because I don't want him to fight against him in the de jure war, knowing that he's gonna want, you know, it's like, hey, get this back into the Raja Kuru. Oh, excuse me. He's actually the holder of Raja Kuru. Well, it doesn't matter. He's not going to be much of anything once we usurp his titles. And then I'll give you the Kingdom of Delhi. Everything will be fine. It'll be settled. You got it. So, that's our plan then. Let's wait a year and a half before we will start the Holy War against the Abbasids. And then after that, I will implement absolute crown authority, so we can get rid of no king space. Of course, they won't like it, but it gives us much more closer towards imperial administration. And also, we got to have absolute rule again. Though the Majesty law has to be level 5, and we are nowhere near that. But it'll be a long, hard road, so down the line, for future generations, we have it set. As long as you win more battles and wars or any means to get much more prestige. Look, pretty even with everything. Yeah, you'll do. Although I would raid them, but no, this is Hindu land. It should be not raided, to be left alone. Because that one is already a war-ridden place anyhow, because it's been frequently raided and it was recently conquered. Conquered unfairly, I might add. But for now, be stationed over there. Our beloved grandmother in Mudgagiri has passed on. There's a lot of stuff going on over in Mudgagiri. Perfect marriage, peaceful province. It's the place to be. The plan to frame the Raja was successful. In the end, he was incriminated in a nefarious plot. It was all revealed to the public and his reputation was wrecked. So he's been framed. Everybody that knows him disliked him. That gives me righteous imprisonment. If he rebels, so be it. This is a defensive war, so meet up here. Retinues to be left alone. It's like, yeah, we finally got rid of him, but however, We already have this, but we're doing this simply because we don't want any unruly vassals. I don't need to revoke his title. Just don't want any uncooperative vassals that may ruin the empire one day. Because, you know, you gotta get rid of the bad elements. You can call back now. No, he's a good one. In fact, end that plot. We're going after him. If we can capture him, battle, good. But don't take too long, because that'll be instability. Originally, we were going to revoke his title, but since we took Delhi and there was room for giving away some land to an unlanded character, especially the one that has major claimants, it was good. Battle of Kalinganagar. During the battle, catch sight of a strong-jawed woman who looks a lot like Rani Suvrata that she struck down, suddenly pushing soldiers out of the way, hurrying over to where the soldier fall. I know it's not Suvrata, but I cannot help myself. I'll become patient for this. No dice. Got rid of cynical. Thank the gods. Thank Vishnu. Thank Krishna. Hey, I remember you. You didn't give me piety last time, but instead, I better repay you a favor with, some prestige, even though you lack of it. I don't think he'll accept it, but still. Secluded meditation after this war. Increases soul standing. I saw my merits in my requested proceed to spread the good word of my deeds among the powerful of the world. I am certainly now better known. All help is welcome. Again, the man is not my rival. We're just simply going to put him in prison, put him in his place, and his successor will be more kind to me. Not here to get his title. That was the original plan, but that's irrelevant now. You got anything interesting? No? Plus, I already have most of these books, like Tale of the Anklet. One of my personal favorite stories to ever come from India. Oh. No, damn it, where is it? Obiat, there it is. Let him be gone. Your new rally point will be in Delhi. For reference for the upcoming conflict against the Abbasid. They have successfully taken Tabaristan. That was the objective of that holy war. Guess they called it Proletarians because I believe he was responsible for the conversion of it. Knowing it at Tengri. That's just true. That was from earlier, when they first came onto the scene. You got 1 year. You know what? Now that there's time, when that vassal levy's raised too long goes away, so we can initiate this holy war, let's begin a secluded meditation now that there's time. Today my seclusion begins. I've selected a simple chamber in the palace where I'll spend most of my time during the coming months. With no spare walls, I shall do my mantras, read the Mahabharata, and contemplate my life and actions. Vishnu shall be my companion. Good. Now how about Magad? Still volatile. It's one more to go. A big shot, ain't you? No. No need for that. Though what you should be concerned is, it's neutral, friendly. Maybe we need to cooperate here. As you are a Mahayana Buddhist, vassal opinion of. I mean, I can't sway you right now. Perhaps my chancellor can help you with that. Once we get to the Punjab, we should be close enough contact with the Karenni Shahdam and see if we become allies. Useful allies. To bring down the Abbasids together. They can have Persia. We'll have India. But I cannot make sense of the passage of Mahabharata. Oh no, don't do that. There's no shame in asking for help. Ask the Pujari. I immediately sought out the request. Seems I caught him at a bad time. For he agreed with some discernible reluctance. Kameshwar, no patient with me, and when I failed to keep him, I left in anger. What's the matter with you? We're both content people here. And you call me the arrogant one? Eh? So are you. You want to talk management debate? Well, I'm patient, so I'll debate it offensively. But I won the debate. I was expecting a draw. Now you owe me money. Well, he has negative money, so probably not. You've been a very good commander, marshal, excuse me. How about more prestige? I need a lot of prestige, knowing that we plan on going for absolute crown authority. You got it. What else? I notice I have a lot of money, so those lack of domain levies, they need to be invested. We need more heavy infantry and pikemen. Knowing we're up against some strong enemies, especially this horde of the Kumans from Kutal, which was Sogdian territory. In fact, a little more of everything. We have neglected this area for long. Yeah, you truly neglected. Even Mathila, where my great-great-grandfather once resided. We are definitely investing in all barracks. And one more. You'll be making plenty of money in no time. And improve the level of the hospital so Magad doesn't get much of diseases ever again. Pushimitra. Oh, yeah, I have no control over the childhood focus. And he's a bit of a religious outcast, which is understandable. He's just a child. He doesn't understand the ways of the world. I could change the child focus to make him become a Hindu, but novice fighter, that's good, because I did say, you know, what he was like. Also, by the way, sooner or later, you're going to lose control of Bengal. Thank you very much, Marshal. getting fatigued a bit. If it leads to something bad, then I don't want to know. Vishnu is showing me the light, so here's some progress despite all this. Guess the meditation was just... It gets tiring, you know, putting your mind on such things. I believe I have convinced Maharani Nata Devi of the Chetty Kingdom to permit me in a meeting for the entirety of the Prosperity faction. If you will allow it, I will attempt to gain their favor on your behalf. Though, of course, I cannot guarantee success. Well, I did send the mayor over there to improve relations. Oh, negotiate with faction. I didn't know that was an option. Well, make the attempt. I didn't know that was a thing until now. Why didn't I think about that? My meeting with the faction did not go well. I wish I could report otherwise, but it is certain I did, and might make things worse. So, nothing's changed. For me, the biggest challenge while in meditation is the solitude. As I sit here and reflect upon the four bodhisattvas, thoughts enter my mind which I desperately want to share with someone, but I barely exchange a single word since beginning my seclusion. I glance out of my window only to say Gangdev engaged in a lively conversation with some friends. We'll go down there, John, only for a few minutes. While Gangdev and his friends were surprised to see me, they were in excellent company. As I stood there surrounded by people, I could not stop talking. Well, supposed to be a few minutes turned into an hour before my companions had to excuse themselves to get back to their duties. That was nice, although I know I shouldn't have. Made friends with another commander who's part of the Imperial Guard. Well on to the patrol. Good. Alright, he's come over here. I'm not going to be the one to finish your intrigue education. That'll be from the Bajari. Oh, what is this? Tyranny. That he started, but it's a tyranny war. Which means if I were to support him, this rebellion, it's only the job. If he loses that tyranny war, he'll have to abdicate to his prince who's just been born recently. That'll further destabilize things. And he's got cancer. Well, what do you know? Anyway, I could support you because you're a Hindu? Yes, sir. It's not going to give him independence, because I still plan on fighting a holy war against him. But please remember, he doesn't have the numbers. We do if we wish to support him. Whereas we can cause some damage in the area while protecting the Punjab region. But I tell you what. If we could protect you, though soon we're gonna, after all this has occurred, since it's a, it's a defensive war, an attacking war, I mean intervention, well, that's actually gonna cause us to go up, so. Should I leave them be, or should we join? I mean, it would be best to, beat the heck out of their forces and we get them over, and hope the Kareni will continue to fight against the Abbasids by any means when we further weaken them and such. Okay, you got it. Weaken the Abbasids a bit more. just intervene on this matter. Then once they're done, and then holy war for Lahore, and then vassalize Vasudev in here. So they'll join the Gupta Empire, and all that. So we can fight the Jor claimant wars in all these areas. Yes, sir. You got it. And subsequently, Max of Crown Authority means the Jor Kingdom CB against the Abbasids. The whole of Punjab will be coming to the Gupta Empire. After this conflict, of course. You got it. My Pujari always talks about the importance of charity. I do give alms to the poor on a regular basis. However, I often feel reluctant when doing so, and it brings me shame. While in meditation, I had plenty of time to think about this. Perhaps I should try to be more charitable? To understand the plight of others, I must seek out new perspectives. I have this book, To the Beautiful Kumara Devi. Yeah, my grandmother. It's this book here. A lengthy old marriage and Kumara Devi, the wife of Maharaja Rajendra Narayan, who was my grandfather, who was a Jain. And then he became a drunk and which wounded himself and all that, but hope this works. Bringing up this old thing. I ordered one of my most trusted servants to make a substantial sum of money from my personal treasury and bring it to the local Mata. However, as soon as she left the room, I regretted my decision. Oh, my servant returned, I could not help myself, and immediately demanded that she would go and get the money back. Now everyone knows about my greed. I wish I had acted so rash. I've been betrayed by my sinful nature and broken seclusion for time. This shame in the eyes of others and greatly hampered my progress. Now I'm a rampant sinner. Good for the money, for the war effort, but not good for me as a person. We still have our commanders. Oh heck, they're already present. I failed you, Archaya. Sorry. But there's some things that's far more important now. Fall back. Defend shortcut. The most defendable place in all the Punjab. Bikana and Kashmir have become independent because they did not have any land connections here. And Banu too, which is held by Manichaeans. But if we can get Punjab, we could definitely have all of the areas of Gandhara and Multan. We can definitely do it. You better speed up here. Head the shortcut immediately. Oh no, it's Kotal. Renegotiated non-aggression pact through. Yes, this was a negotiated alliance. Ever since they've converted. Come on, with us. They're just stalling them. Now they're coming here. No way out. They'll take a river crossing penalty. Be able to defend in the jungle. But this is the fastest route. tell you what. Gang Dev, you are everybody's a damned. Bring me the territory leader. There's no cavalry here. Oh, here's someone who knows the jungle. Anybody's got the big numbers, you'll be the organizers. Get them moving fast. Well, so to speak. We're gonna try to make our stand here. Otherwise this would be... I don't know if this is a wise stratagem. But the movement's already locked and more troops are committed. But these guys up there are the difference makers. We'll try to make our stand here until reinforcements arrive. They've halted, but the Abbasids are moving in. I think they knew better. Bastards. Battle just started. Which again, they took a river crossing, but we have the jungle. And reinforcements will try to arrive as fast as they can. How much? That's a little much, but you know the maintenance cost. All yours. We'll be taking severe casualties until reinforcements arrive. So do what we can to hold them off. Again, jungle, rivers in between. Still holding them off at the center very well. Now reinforcements have arrived. Devastating, crushing charge tactic. We have some more elephants, you know. More enemy reinforcements coming in. They are mostly light cavalry, plenty of horse archers, and countless numbers of light infantry. So it's about to escalate here. And they need to get here faster. Especially this other one that's 1,000 plus strong, and they need to get here. But you know, as for the horse archers of theirs, they don't do very well in jungles. Especially when crossing a river, so there's still a chance. And do not forget that I still want to increase my personal combat skills. They'll be here in a few days. Of course, they're retreating, but now they're being reinforced. There's the conquering Duke himself. Now we're outnumbered. So we're going to try to hold them off as we can. Now we're receiving reinforcements slowly but surely. The Madra Raj, they're slowing them down, they're delaying them. We're on the 21st. We're trying our damnedest here. But the flow of reinforcements is still steadying. We still have the morale. Still no commanders being fought in a duel. Still outnumbered, but we're still fighting very well here in the jungle. The raining weather is getting to me. Turning to the sky, I take a deep breath. The haphazard soldiers of Caliph al-Mustafa have been sending their best at me, and my limbs are becoming heavier with each step I take. He's been in a few duels himself. In fact, he's killed a man from Madra. That happened 20 years ago. Ever since, you know, they entered in India. So he's one of the main commanders of the Empire. I don't think so. I'll duel Vahid myself. My grip cramping around my golden scimitar. As Mayor of Vahid braced another attack, falling moments are a blur. Blood is suddenly everywhere. Somebody shouting, "Did Samrajni Rani just sever his head from his body?" Another victorious match. That was one of their sub-commanders. Don't see any more enemy reinforcements. We got them. Got them in the bag sooner or later. But their Saturn is stubborn. Still charging at each other. This is savage combat. Although our right flank is starting to fail a bit. Can't be good. What's causing them? Heavy infantry leader. What else? How many heavy infantry do they have on this flank? About as much as the left. However, the battle's to be decided because of the amount of manpower we have. We have more men because we know the population here. And we've invested a lot more in barracks, knowing that we cannot repeat such things again. But it still continues on. Center's broken. There goes left, but now I have to change focus to my right, so we're going that way. They try to do a what? Mamluk raid tactic. This campaign has been easy pickings, so says me, swinging my sword through the jungles of pleasure. My fellow soldiers equally drove us around the blood of our Bedouin enemies. I cry someone out, "Look! Enemy commander Prince Adal is hiding." Someone suddenly shouts from out distance. The Prince of the Arabian Empire. Brother of the Caliph. Strong, shrewd. He was an imperial bureaucrat. And he's been having chest pains. There you are, been itching for a fight. I was chasing Prince Dal through the jungle with a Kadgo Dayama. Shoved me aside, bugging. "I'll take this one, my lady," eloquently swinging his short sword. "You did well in the duel." He got him severely injured. In addition to his chest pains, I don't think he'll be around for much longer. Well, it's a maybe. It's a maybe. The left is still active, as we're receiving more reinforcements to get this flank back up. And small other friendly reinforcements coming this way. That was definitely our finest hour. The Battle of in Shortcut, Punjab. Which I believe in this part, I believe that's in, yeah, modern day Pakistan. So, yes, we fought very, very well. And it's a months-long battle. And a vast majority of that battle was fought in a manner of charging against the enemy. Just charge. This was savage combat, that I might add. And also another contributing factor is that my patience and the bravery kept the defenses up. As I lead the center, and me being a trickster, I mean, we can't know for certain if this contributed to this victory here. And we gave them a huge lashing. But Mohan Madra fell in battle as he was slain by him. Yeah, that was him earlier during that battle. So he died during the early stages of the battle that happened on the 9th of May. And then later in that month, I encountered him, and it was reported that I severed his head from his body. He was one of the main commanders of the Caliph himself. But despite the fact that he was an imbecile but shrewd, okay, so that makes it, I mean, at least he understood the sword. I mean, he knew what he got himself into, but he was a zealous Shaktiist. He was stubborn and brave and disfigured, so he risked his life early on in this battle for the defense of the Punjabi people, even though they'll still be under Abbasid administration, but we will free them in the next episode. So we will salute to Mohan Madra for his sacrifice, including you know, some of us that were sacrificed here, but we held a very valiant defense here. A very, very great difference maker of a battle. So we won here, but this one was the biggest. And not to mention that all the holdings never fell to the enemy. So we defeated him and his allies, which gave them severe lashing, which would give the Zoroastrians time to strike back, or alternatively the Sogdian Christians up there that want their land back. So we salute to the glorious defenders of the Indian people. Even though it's not a fully united India, but you get the idea that it's starting to build up the elements of a united nation. So we thank some of the Punjabi defenders, but we did most of the work. Had we not intervened, the Punjabi kingdom within this area would have been lost. And one day, Vasudev, you will join the Empire, and we'll make good use of you. In fact, perhaps one of the commanders, as you are a trained fighter and brave. I mean, after all, he's Hindustani, so that's just of who he is, part of that house. So yeah, we got everybody in time, and we had to pick a few commanders to get them moving faster. So do not forget that even though that Punjabi warrior who fought alongside with us who was a difference maker. One of the few difference makers. I mean, everybody played their part. And of course, I am going to reference this, you know, due to, you know, my knowledge in Indian history and all that. That, you know, for his gallantry in battle, that Mahatma would be awarded with the Paramveer Chakra, because, you know, this was during the early stages of battle, which was no doubt part of a last stand. See, we weren't the only ones here. The Madra Raj was with us here. The Madra Raj is from Madra that lives in the Trigata area, whose capital is in Lahore itself. So we salute to you. Now, let's hear the end results of this war. And yeah, that does increase it a bit, but move back so we can... And also gotta take care of those damned raiders. Peasant revolt now. So he's abdicated. That's what happened when you lose a revolt war. You abdicate, and now you got 1 year old. Now there's a very good chance for the realm to destabilize itself. Yeah. They're all mad at it. There's likely going to be problems. If I ever see a member of Independence faction, and if you're going to be the one that started it, I'll be glad to help you. After pursuing some old texts brought by a savvy merchant, given by my extensive culture and inquisitive mind, I could buy some of them in order to study and increase an area of knowledge. What will I do? I'll pick the intrigue documents, since I've got a bit of a hand in intrigue. Yeah, they seem unable, well, they'll soon be able to try to drive them out of there. Would hate for them to be around there. Disband the army, but keep the retinue active. C2, if you can get them moving faster. And if we ever have a much more better income, hey, surrender that claim. Peace, white peace. You are not kicking them out. Protecting the investment. Thank you. Now you must report to prison. And he's going to revoke your titles for rebelling, so he can have more power to himself. Being a very patient person, I always try to hear others' opinion before making a decision, because everyone deserves to be heard. And I've become just. Well, not anymore. As you no doubt well know, and I, those hereabouts who are part of my faction are loyal subjects, to show our devotion, I've decided to host a grand banquet in Delhi to honor your rule. Court faction support. Levies up. %, Imperial decay, so it's very, very corrupt over there. 3 new artifacts. 3 books. Don't worry about that. But we'll get you in. At any given time, we can declare war against Lahore, and we'll be dealing with these same enemies. And then once we're done with that, it's like, yes, the Punjabi kingdom will be under the Gupta realm. And then subsequently use absolute crown authority if we can get some more support, as many of them are undecided right now. But it will enable us to have a de jure kingdom claim, which will be a much bigger alternative than just a duchy-sized holy war. it'll do. And of course, don't forget to fight little visual claiming wars on the Gandhara region. And also, that means more time for you to strike back. We'll have negotiations sooner or later. Okay, they're being driven out. Never mind. Go back to your original starting position. So in the next episode, as the vassal levies raised opinion goes down, so we're giving it 1 year to raise funds, which they'll be plentiful, and then we will fight for Punjab and see to that we can vassalize it, because it says right here that vassalize lords of my religion, Hinduism, and take all the other titles from the Emirate of Lahore. Now, I do not know if that includes, you know, you hold the Emirate of Lahore and shake them a shortcut. Oh, it says it here, but I would fight to get Lahore. Would he be driven out there? If that is the case, then damn. It's almost like, well then, we gotta bring you in instead. Wish I could force vassalize you. You know you're not your own foreign culture, all that. It might take some convincing. Because if I get you in, then, well, we'll have the whole kingdom anyhow, without having to use the Holy War. Try to bribe him. Increase opinion. Maybe this could help. Still no. Stubborn, ain't you? And of course, there's this other person. Oh no, that's the one who's the... Oh, I don't even know anymore, right? He lost the kingdom, that's all that matters. Now, if only I were to vassalize you, but... Fortunately, it's not part of this deal. Same goes for... Oh yeah, the title. We'll figure it out in the next episode, so we hope you tune in for that. But until then, so long for now.